Hello, my lovers. So, a little bit of a different setup today where I'm feeling intuitively guided to share just how I'd practice when I'm feeling really exhausted and ultimately a little bit of how the day might look. And as far as certainly giving and sharing and like working as it were when it feels on flow. And if nothing's really feeling on flow and the body is tired and there's not much motivation to really take a day of rest, so like staying in the PJs, and not really like having a list or having anything to do for the day other than maybe watch some good feeling entertainment, having a few chats with friends, but mostly having this profound sense of self-care and self-love. And I might find myself at different times of the day maybe doing a handstand practice, like, just flying upside down for a bit. And certainly, again, here now to share with you a meditation practice and some breath work. And that could be just doing some breath work whilst watching TV or preparing something in the kitchen, what have you. That's another piece as well. Insert to share with you the ebb and flow of consumption patterns. Sleeping patterns have been really much more fluid. Similarly, food patterns are, and some days of rest are like really filling the body with kind of good feeling food, and then other days of rest can be sort of the opposite, what looks like almost like a fast, or just endeavoring to have lots of water and fruit, or basically giving your body's digestive system a bit of a rest. And that could just be for a portion of the day, like the morning hours, or a whole day. It just depends on how you're being guided to really deeply rest the body. So saying that, I'm gonna go into meditation. We'll focus on just aligning our bodies so we feel quite easy and rested in a seated position. To score, we could sit ourselves on a cushion, which again could just help us feel a little bit more rested in the seated pose. And then just start by opening ourselves up, making space alongside the breathing. So we let the breath, in essence, really guide the body's alignment, the body's seat, as it were, seat of power. So just continue to watch the breath. Encourage deep breathing, deep yogic breathing to maintain the focus. And we'll allow ourselves to sit in silence here. Gently bringing the mind's awareness always back into the breath and the sensation. Maybe doing some body scanning, so you're just scanning from the crown of the head all the way down. And then doing that all the way back up. Maybe at different points choosing points of focus, so maybe focusing on that base of the spine. Maybe focusing on the crown of the head or the heart space. We'll just stay in our meditation here now. And I'm beginning to see a pillar of light. So imagine a pillar of light extending out through the crown of the head, through the body, aligning itself with the spine, the central nervous system, harmonizing everything, really radiating that divine light. And then the pillar extends down through the base of the spine and into the earth. Imagine that pillar extending itself to this really rooted place, very connected, home. And allow yourself to feel that exchange of energy between the cosmic connection, infinite space, and the earthly connection, groundedness, home. Allow your body to be surrounded by this pillar of light. Allow it to have a healing benefit. So it really does move through the nervous system, move through your awareness, move through all the cells. And then imagine all the cells really being supercharged by this light. So there's an optimal functioning. There's a trust between you and the cells that make you up. The energetic expression that makes you up, knowing the connection between your choice point and your awareness. And so let's begin to imagine that from the bottom and the top, the pillars of light begin to extend open in equanimity or equilibrium to create a shield or an energetic bubble around us. So from the top and the bottom, and we imagine that our own pillar is like this generation field, so that all that is contained within that bubble is our world. We can, of course, extend the bubble to surround the Earth or the entire galaxy. Simply imagining that that is all within our own field of awareness. And then feel the integrity of that bubble, that light field, from that central pillar that connects you to your cosmic origins and earth base. And then that light obviously is healing any distortion in the field, any base tone patterning or programming connected to fear, shame, low self-worth, and that harmonizes just into that purity of light and grace and divine coding, as it were, knowing the choice point from the heart-mind field and seeing the perfection of the form and the life that you're endeavoring and choosing to live. So the service to self is service to the whole. Okay, good. And so we'll begin to slowly open our eyes, just sort of tuning into being back in your your world. Be aware of your perception of it and how you feel into it. And just feel like a really gentle limbering. So we'll take a breath and reach the arms up. Pardon my tummy. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, interlock the fingers behind us. I'm interlocking them to stretch back and inhale. I'm going to look the head up as well. As I exhale, stick the tongue out and look the eyes up. Inhale to the shoulders. And then exhale, look up. And then just a little twist. So we can twist it out here, looking back. And then twist it out here, looking back. And then slowly release. We can put our legs out in front of us. For now, I'll come off this cushion. And then just hinge forward and relax. I'm going to really encourage the head, neck, shoulder line to relax, like tucking the chin under. And then breathing into all the feels. Really encouraging that upper body to relax completely whilst the lower body feels quite heavy and grounded. So I'm just hearing this sort of intuitive guidance around like heat and the different ways and energetic ways that we create heat in the body, and how those different heat waves, as it were, we can perceive as, again, like energy codes and even trauma around. I really connect heat to things like anger, but also shame. So you guys see I switched the position. I put the soles of the feet together, and I'm just kind of hinging into this, breathing into that lower back space. So the heat, I sense, really is this sort of melting, this burning away of certain cellular densities. And again, this is all part of that paradigm shift, is that intuitive connection to some of the body's systems and operations, right? And that actually we're empowering ourselves to intuitively refrain some of the symptoms that we express as humans, so that we can regulate ourselves, rather than sort of being frightened all the time about everything that we feel, right? And thinking there's something wrong. So again, intuitively, we can actually connect to that regenerative aspect when we're working with the emotional body in a much deeper way. So I'm reaching those arms just a little bit. Again, we could be up here, you know, it's all it's all held. We're all getting the same benefit just by breathing in these poses. So you notice we're just holding poses for a little bit deeper. So I can go, deeper into the breathing and the releasing in a flexibility position. So this would be considered more of a yin style practice versus the vinyasa flow, or even a lot of the kundalini stuff, which is more yang, more fiery. Okay, and then just slowly release that there. I'm trying to feel in. So let's do a little spinal twist again. We could have one leg long, bringing one foot over top of the leg and then twisting away from the leg so it's in opposition. I've got the right hand over top that left knee, and then the hands are there to assist. Eyeballs look back, and then breathe into that twisting spine. Let it rise and fall with the breath. So in a restorative practice, I'm extra mindful of not trying, not for even less of a push in this pose, just letting the breath do its work, and not forcing at all, just breathing into it. That holding poses longer helps us go deeper, and the breath awareness, of course, is harmonizing and healing, which is again why we might get even an emotional release when we do deep stretch, is we're sort of peeling back layers of sensory, nervous, emotional trauma, right? Any layer of that stress. So gently release. And then the kind of entirety of the practice is just helping us become more self-aware. So I've bent now. I'm bending the left knee. So the left foot was over the right knee, right? And then I'm bringing the left foot to the right inner thigh, and I'm just doing a forward fold here, grabbing hold there, or just kind of letting the hands relax. I'm kind of just doing a bit of micro movement or self-adjusting to feel whether or not I can get even more comfy. Accessing those deeper layers by breathing really deeply and observing that breath move around the body in this pose. then I'm feeling actually like interlocking the fingers and just taking a breath to lift the heart up. Exhale, really pull the head and the arms back. And then release. From here, I'm going to bring the right foot in front of the left and just take a couple hingy sways here, feeling into a bit of a stretch. And release. So my fingers, like spider claw, I'm going to put behind me, press into the pads of the fingers, lift the heart up. Inhale. On the exhale, press the palms down, or the fingers, press into the pads of the fingers. And again, inhale, lift the heart and the ribs. And then exhale, press down in the fingers. So you're drawing the shoulders down and back, elbows back. One more time, big breath into the heart, ribs, tummy, and then exhale, pull back. Good stuff. Just slowly release that there. A couple little rock outs here. Just feel like you can really relax the head, neck, shoulders. And then try this out as well. So interlocking the hands and then keeping the body pretty upright. And then see how I've got the toes pulling back. You could even have the knees a little bit bent. A nice big inhale lifts up through the heart, and then on the exhale, I'm going to draw the chin down, draw the shoulders down, and then breathe into the back of the neck and the shoulders. Oh yeah, baby, that feels good. Okay, from here I'm going to open it by inhale, open it, open those elbows back, and then exhale, release it. So now I'm keeping the left knee straight, bringing the right foot over that left knee, bringing the right hand round behind, and then just look round and breathe. Again, take it really easy, keep the sitting bones grounded, both sitting bones grounded, so that when you lift up, you're lifting the heart space up and round. On the exhale, you can look all the way round. So it's really like the breath and the eyeballs doing the work. And then the arms are just going to help you out and assist you from time to time. And then we'll do a little counter position. So I'm just going to rock it out this way, a little way. And then come out of that, bringing the right foot to the left inner thigh, getting jiggy with it, getting easy with it here, just rocking a bit side to side, feeling that external rotation and extension through to the right knee. Maybe grabbing hold of the foot if that feels good, or just grabbing the shin, or even relaxing the arms like that. Forward, breathing openness from that lower back space to find space, basically. And of course, always from that just perspective of being gentle and kind to our bodies. Which, even if you think of the slogan, no pain, no gain, like, it's so obvious, isn't it? We have this quite apparent belief system, or certainly this belief system was perpetuated into our psyche of like, no pain, no gain. Just do it about, like, although, I mean, you could look at it from so many different angles. But I look at it from, again, the fitness idea that I can't gain anything without suffering, right? Like, we don't get to just be free. And, like, that's not the same when we're little. if anything, pain is like pain, and we endeavor to learn how to evolve ourselves so we don't endeavor or kind of encounter those sort of accidents. Certainly, to have an efficient, functional, and beautiful, healthy body, I don't believe that we need to do it harm. We don't need to cause it pain. If anything, we need to hold space for it to release pain, to release stress and stagnation and trauma. And learn how to rest in peace, my lovers. So then I'm going to bring my left. Oh, do you know what I did here? Interlocking the fingers. Did we do that? I don't remember. Maybe we did it here. Anywho, just bringing that left foot in front of the right. And then I'm just here now swaying a little bit to find a side stretch. And then again, I'm going to come to hinge and reach and relax, and big breaths into the lower back. So restoring the body and the nervous system really is the kind of deeper rest, deeper healing, slowing it down. And with us going into this Piscean Mercury retrograde energy before we hit the Aries, it's like I feel that this is a sort of really, really, as in these next few days and oncoming weeks, are really beautiful, certainly until the new moon and then beyond, but into March. It's a really nice time for deeper rest and reflection and holding space for ourselves to do some healing and releasing ultimately of these unworthinesses, these shames, these wounds that for a lot of us we will recognize that these are things that we've carried for certainly the entirety of our conscious life here now, and then lifetimes of different expressions and experience and certain ancestral and then there again, that's kind of connected to this lifetime, is that we know that our family dynamic and all that kind of stuff, those are deep soul contracts and karmic wounds that we've carried possibly again like over lifetimes. And then we're in this beautiful phase where we have an opportunity to truly, in our grace and in our humility, forgive it all and like wipe the slate clean. So the meditation for today, when I'm beginning to really feel the presence of that light pillar, I really do feel like that's the divine kind of connection point for the self, and then when we're anchored in that light coding, we can really heal. And sometimes it can come up, so we might be really present in that moment, feeling our density, feeling our shame, being aware of where we're not, kind of thing. And yet we're there in the presence of our light field, regardless of those feelings, choosing the truth of who we are, choosing to show up in that truth as well, right? So yeah, we're always expressing that biofeedback, and thus we're in this phase of holding space for that, those lower base tone dualities, and knowing in truth we're up leveling ourselves to really vibrate in higher realms that maybe we once only imagined or maybe even disbelieve at one point in our lives. So it's always important whenever we give ourselves time to reflect to certainly really take stock and give ourselves credit for how far we've come in the character and the love and the practices that we're developing so that we can shine our light and express our intuitive knowing and like be real and be authentic and just generally be decent human beings, right? Like, go figure. I mean, it's sort of like that. Anywho, I feel like I'm gonna actually wrap it up, and we're here. I'm in a seated position. If you're wanting to do more positions, that's sort of the joy of it. Like, you can now springboard on your mat and do some more flow, or you could hit into another video from the playlist, or you could hit up the relaxation session and actually have a guided yoga nidra, guided relaxation. But that's it for me. So I want to bring my palms to the heart, making that connection, just being so grateful for this body. Yay! Like, hello, the cells of my body are all sparkly and joyful, and like, ooh, happy to be here. all of it. And then, like, but know the truth as well. Yo, you know the truth of this expressive creation, right? From your own divine connection. So together we'll take a nice big inhale. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the glory of this beautiful life. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Namaste, you guys. Have a great day. I'm sure I'll see you on the flip side or somewhere on social media or something like that. I wish you well, and I hope you enjoyed that intuitive sesh for when you're feeling a bit exhausted. Hala, I had a feeling Azuska. Alright, you guys, peace out, take care, have an awesome day. I'll see you soon.